cocoa? Who likes to put marshmallows in your hot cocoa?
I do.
Saya and Danae. I like whipped cream on my hot cocoa. So let's all pretend that we have hot cocoa mugs in our hands. And we're gonna inhale for 4 lungs. And we're gonna blow on our hot cocoa.
Can you blow on it?
Because it's so warm and so hot, and our hands are cold. Ready? One more time. Inhale. Blow on our hot cocoa.
Blow on it.
Friends. And then Jenna, I'm going to have you, if you can, I don't know if I have to make me a shared host or I just share my screen.
I will make you the co-host. Sorry to not do that before. I apologize.
So I'm wearing.
You are now the co.
Okay. And then with our purple bracelets, lavender left. So if you can come up to the screen, you make an L with your hand. This is your lavender left. Okay. This is our left hand. And then when I do my other hand that has red, that's my red right. Okay, so red right and lavender left. See the L? There we go. So we're going to start out a way to kind of shake off all of our little jiggles and all of our antsies. So I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to do the winter hokey pokey. Are you ready?
Nichole, we can't hear the music, just an FYI.
Okay, well, I know why. 1 second. I'm getting used to Bluetooth. There we go. Let's bring it back. Thank you. And we're going to start again. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
In, you take your right mitten out, you put your right mitten in, you shake it all about, you do the winter pokey and you turn yourself around. Ooh, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You put your left mitten in, you take your left mitten out, you put your left mitten in and you shake it all about. Do the winter pokey, you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You put your right boot in, you take your right boot out, you put your right boot in and shake it all about. You do the winter pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You put your left boot in, take your left boot out, put your left boot in, and shake it all about. You do the winter pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Well, you put your winter hat in, take your winter hat out, put your winter hat in and shake it all about. You do the winter pokey, you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You put your long scarf in, you take your long scarf up, you put your long scarf in and shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey, you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You put your snowsuit in, you take your snowsuit out, you put your snowsuit in and shake it all about. You do the winter pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Whoa, that's what it's all about.
Ooh, that got me a little bit warmed up.
Me too.
So I have a story for you today, but I wanted Jenna to remind us that with the Special Olympics, they talk a lot about Chile, the polar bear. So Jenna, do you want to share with us a little bit more about the polar bear and what that means?
Yeah, so we've talking about Chili the bear before. So in February, we always have the polar plunges that go on that raise money for us to run these awesome programs and for our athletes to not have to pay anything. So Chili Bear is our favorite polar bear mascot for Special Olympics Wisconsin, who will be at some of the polar plunges, sledding down some hills. So when you guys see a polar bear with Special Olympics, just remember, Chili Bear's there to help.
All right, so I decided to do a yoga story today. It's all about polar bears, especially because we're experiencing snow outside. Some of us have snow days, and the Special Olympics is talking about polar bears. So I have a story that I'd like to share with all of you. Here we go. Polar bear babies. So I'm going to ask you to use your watchful eyes and your listening ears because I'm going to quiz you when we're doing our yoga together today.
Quizzes.
Okay, so wake up, polar babies. It's a big day. They're sleeping in their snow cave. Polar bear babies learn to fish. So mom made a hole in the ice, and the babies are coming close to find the fish. This polar baby loves to fish. This polar baby loves to sleep. Polar babies learn to swim. This polar baby loves to swim, but this polar baby loves to sleep on top of mama. Polar babies learn to walk on the ice. I bet it's pretty slippery. This polar baby loves the ice, and this polar baby loves to sleep. That sounds cold to me. Who likes to sleep in the snow? Not me. Oh no, a big polar bear. Polar babies learn to run. Run, polar babies, run. Polar babies run over the ice, past the fishing hole, into the cold, icy water, and back to their safe polar bear den. Now this polar baby wants to sleep. What does this polar baby want? Another big polar bear day. Okay. So now we get time to do yoga. Elliot has his hand up. Did you want to say something, Elliot?
I noticed in the book that one polar bear liked to do stuff and one bear liked to sleep and like not do very much stuff.
You're right. So I have two cards. Here's what we look like when we get tired. Here's a little boy when he gets tired and just wants to sleep, wants mama to carry him around. And here's a card when a little boy or little girl who's just happy. One polar bear was just excited to play and the other one just wanted to sleep. So you remember that, Elliot, because I'm going to ask some questions during our yoga sequence, okay? Are you ready to do yoga?
Yes.
Okay, let's get ready.
Yeah.
So I have a stool because we do have a friend who's sitting on a chair. So this is the yoga pose for book. We open up our book. So we're practicing a yoga sequence today by opening up our books. And we're going to reenact the story. So in the beginning, the polar bears were being cozy in their den. So I'm going to ask everybody to come down to the floor or stay seated in your chair. And you're going to get cozy cozy. Cozy polar bear. And if you're seated in a chair, get cozy. Mama bear comes in and says, hey, polar bear babies, it's time to get up. So we stretch. Oh. If you're on the floor, let's stretch. Oh. Time to get up. And on your next in-breath, inhale your back arch up to the ceiling and look at your belly button. And out breath, you can drop your belly. In breath, arch your back. And then drop your belly. If you're seated in a chair, you can wiggle your tummy, make arches and flatten. So you can arch your back and flatten your belly. More time. In breath, arch your back. And out breath. Drop your belly. Tuck your toes. Open your fingers wide and send your hips up towards the ceiling. We do downward facing bear. Polar bear. Walk your polar bear. Walk your polar bear feet to your hands. And bend over. And let your arms just hang long to the floor. If you're seated in a chair, you can just fold yourself over your chair. Now in the Arctic, where polar bears live, there are giant ice mountains. So let's come into mountain pose. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Come into mountain pose. Now, sometimes birds fly over the mountains. Do you remember any birds in the story? If you remember a bird in the story, raise your hand. And if there wasn't a bird in the story, you can give me a thumbs down. Was there a bird in the story? I'm going to check who says yes and who says no.
But you can probably find a better game to do that than Godfall. Enter the beautifully rendered action figure world.
Was it yes or no? Is there a bird in the story?
Depiction
Yes
of the sketches from a
no?
fifth grader science notebook with a.
Okay, I see some people saying no, you're correct, but we're going to put a bird in our story because we're going to become eagles. So we're going to kickstand your foot, just like a bicycle has a kickstand. And you cross your foot, lavender left, over your right. You're twisting your legs. Spread your eagle wings wide and up towards the ceiling, the sky, and twist. Now we can turn this into a balancing pose. You can stand on one leg and bring the other leg up a little bit higher and twist. Can you do it? And if you're seated on a chair, spread and twist your legs, spread your eagle's wings wide, and twist. You can do it on a chair too if you want. Good job, friends. I see lots of eagles. Was there a river or an ocean? Was there water in the story? Yes or no? Was there water in the story?
Yes.
All right. So let's put a river into our story. Come down onto the ground. Soles of feet on the floor. Bend your knees. Hands on the floor. And let's make a wave. A ripple on the water and splash. And splash. One more time. Inhale, hands up to the ceiling and splash. Now the mama bear taught the polar bears 3 things: to fish. Does anybody know the other ones? Remember they were looking in the fishing hole and I was teaching them how to fish? And then she taught them how to.
What's Miss Nichole doing?
Taught them how to swim. And then she taught her babies how to walk. So let's do the yoga poses for fish. So if you have a pillow or a blanket, you can put it on the floor. And I'm going to sit right by my pillow. Now we have spines in our backs that help us be able to flex our back this way and this way. Makes us very flexible. You see my piece of purple string here? Put your soles of your feet on the floor. Just walk yourself down over your pillow or over your blanket and stretch like a fish, curving your back, letting your legs go long. You become like fish. And then you can bring your soles of your feet up and come back onto your side. Now let's learn to swim like polar bears. If you're in your chair, if you're seated in a chair, you can swim, or we can do it on the floor. Come onto your belly. Lavender left arm and lavender left leg. Go up and down, swimming through the icy cold water. Woo! And shake it off like a polar bear. Whoosh. Who knows how to walk like a polar bear? Who wants to demonstrate? Elliot, would you like to demonstrate how to walk like a polar bear?
Yes.
Show us. You show us. How do we do it? Everybody watch Elliot. Look at you. That's a good way to walk like a polar bear. And if you're seated in a chair, you can do it like this. Walk like a polar bear. Nathan, what are you doing? How are you walking like a polar bear? Does anybody else want to try? I'll show you. You come down to your mat, bend your knees, hands flat on the floor, and let's walk like polar bears. Oh. This polar bear is getting tired. You stretch out your toes on your mat. Inhale, arms up, in breath up to the ceiling, and reach for those polar bear toes and tickle those toes. We'll take a resting pose into child's, stretching forward, sending our bottoms down, and stretch. Stretching out our backs, nice and long. And polar bears like to roll on the floor. Rolling back and forth into happy polar bear. Can you reach your feet? And if you're seated in a chair, you can do child's pose in your chair. Or happy polar bear in a chair. It's been a long, long day in the cold Arctic. The moon is coming out You see the moon?
No.
Reach for the moon as high as you can. Reach for it. Reach for the moon. Ooh. Down. Or if you're in your chair, you can just get nice and cozy in your chair. Or you can rock yourself down. Now, beside you and feet go long. And the polar babies get ready for a winter nap. I'm going to take a look at everybody's polar babies. Look at all of you. So does anybody remember what 3 things did Mama Polar Bear teach her babies? She cut a hole in the water and they went to catch what?
Fishing.
Okay, Thea, what do you know something that Mama taught the babies?
Yes. How to walk.
How to walk. Good job. How to fish, how to walk, and one more. Let's give somebody else a try who hasn't talked yet. Remember, it was this one. We're using our arms and our legs.
Go ahead, Cam.
How to swim.
How to swim. Who has the bravery? Who in all this group has the bravery to swim in icy cold water? Elliot does. Not me. What about you, Miss Jenna? Would you swim in cold water?
Oh, I did the polar plunge 4 years in a row, so I've done that, been there.
All right, so before we're done with yoga, I'm going to come down to the floor. We're going to do a little bit of stretching. It's always good to finish up your yoga with a little bit of stretches. We'll come down to the floor. Fold your legs in like a pretzel. Fold your legs like a pretzel. And Thea has her hand raised.
Thea, what's your question?
Tay has hers and harmony at 5 o'clock after this.
Sounds good. Thanks for letting us know, Taya.
Okay, fold the legs in like a pretzel. In breath, arms up towards the ceiling. And bend at your hip points and reach in front of you. And if you can come down to the floor and touch, great. If you can't, you can just bring your hands out like this. Down as far as you can. And if you're sitting in a
I have to go.
Bye,
Okay, Elliot, thanks for joining us.
Bye. You're welcome.
Bye. Have a good evening.
You too.
your legs wide. You open them up. And if you're sitting in a chair, you can just bring them out long. So bring them up and wide. And go side to side. If you're a friend who's sitting in a chair, you can just bring your legs out long. Just go side to side. Stretching those legs, opening up our side bodies. Let's stretch up towards the ceiling and open up real long. Try to get really tall. And even shake that hand. Make yourself get taller. And relax. Other side, in breath, arm up towards the ceiling, tall, 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 and shake that hand. Open up the side body. And relax. I can flex your toes. Flex and point. And you can do this in a chair too, like flexing and pointing. This makes all these muscles called hamstrings really work. Point and flex. And point and flex. Now, before we're done, we have 2 more things. Let's work on our wrists. They work really hard for us. Let's do circles with our wrists. Going clockwise and stop. Now let's go the other direction. Stop. Open, shut down, open, shut down. Give a little. Good job, friends. Good listening. So sometimes when it's really cold outside and we've been playing in the snow, our neck and our arms get really, really tight because we've been shoveling. And sometimes we get snow down our jackets, right? So let's tuck our chins into our chest and roll your neck over to your right side, or your lavender left, sorry, your lavender left. And then roll back to your chin to chest, and then roll to your red right. In breath, chin to chest, lavender left. In breath, chin to chest, red right. Good job, friends. Now I have something to share with you. Remember, I told you that I only told you one of my favorite things that I like to do in the snow when we have snow days. I told you I like to make hot cocoa, but when I was a little girl, I did an experiment and I wanted to build my own snowman, but I didn't want to be outside because I'm not a polar bear and I don't like the snow. So I brought snow inside. And today's snow is the best kind of snow in the world. Do you know what kind of snow it is? It's called packing snow. So when I grab it like this and I put my bowl down, it's like Play-Doh. I can go like this and it makes a snowball right away. And when I was a little girl, I made a snowman and I put him in my freezer. Now, this is something you do have to ask mom and dad. But I have a question. If you were to make your own snow person and bring that snow person in your house, well, what would you do for the eyes and the nose? What could you make the eyes out of?
You guys can unmute yourselves if you want.
What would you do? Yeah? Yeah, that's Enid's idea.
Okay. I thought of something, so let me see what you think of this. I would use chocolate chips for the eyes. So what could we use for the nose or the scarf? Sometimes a snowman has a scarf, right? So I'm gonna make a little hit to my. What other edible things can you put on your snowman? You think of like long pieces of candy that wrap around. Sometimes it's red, sometimes it's black, sometimes it's brown. Maybe for a scarf. Happy.
Yep, Naomi said it.
Naomi said it? Oh,
yep,
what can we do for the
licorice.
nose? What about the nose?
A carrot.
We have to make a very small carrot. You might have to cut that carrot a couple of times to make it small, then go with my head. Put a little carrot nose. So this is something fun that you can make at home in your kitchen. You have to ask mom and dad first. This is the best packing snow there is. Anybody else have any other thoughts about the snowman? What are you going to do on your snow days? Andrew, you're very quiet today.
Yeah, I am.
That's okay. And when I look out the window, the snow is a little bit lighter than it was this morning. So, see, has ended. And I'm really grateful and happy that all of you could join me today. And this is the first time I was able to meet you. Glad to see you. So nice to see you again, Andrew and Dania, Thea, Pam and Bennett, Naomi. I think I got everybody. Everybody have a wonderful snow day and stay warm. And ask mom and dad if you can get some packing snow. And then you can sit at the kitchen table and make snowmen. Bye for now. I'll see you next week.
Everyone say thanks, Miss Nichole. Thanks, Nichole.
Friend.
Thanks, Nichole.
Bye.
Bye, Benny. Bye, Chart Boys.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Miss Nicole.